Well, welcome back to the Pinewy Woods Homestead, y'all. The hurricane has passed, the remnants of it. We didn't really get any of the hurricane here. It kind of went way south and east of us, but we got plenty of rain and a little bit of breeze. And today it's nice and breezy, y'all, and the humidity is way down. So I'm gonna get down here in the hog lot. We're gonna actually move the hog feeder and a hog waterer to get it set up further out into the woods where we need it at, while Lisa works on picking beans. Guys, thanks for stopping in at the Pinewy Woods Homestead. Hit that like and subscribe if you hadn't, and if you have, as always, y'all, we appreciate you. Y'all, I wasn't intending on being back in the hog lot this morning, and I call it a hog lot, y'all. It wouldn't matter to me if it were 5 acres fenced in the woods. I'd still call it a hog lot because that's how I was taught growing up, y'all. That's what it was all called. Everybody called it a hog lot. Didn't matter if it was 1 acre or 5 acres or 10 acres, it was a hog lot if you had them in the woods. But we're going to get this thing moved, and if you'll stick around, y'all, I'm planning on cooking up some marinated speckled Sussex breast quarters this evening over an open fire, campfire style. So stick around for that, guys. Y'all, early this morning, got a phone call from the post office. We had 50 Ranger chicks shipped to us from Freedom Ranger Hatchery up in Pennsylvania. That's who we've been getting them from for the past several years. And we've always had good success on mail order until today. Y'all, I got them home and I noticed didn't hear as much chirping as probably I should have. And over half of them had succumbed to the elements. Looks like they got wet. They got real wet in transport because, you know, this storm was rolling through and a lot of rain. Had rain for a week. So, but y'all, Freedom Ranger Hatchery, it was really good. I got a hold of them first thing since I got home. They're sending out a replacement for the ones that died in a couple of days. And if any more die because of the nature of how it happened, them getting wet, they'll send us more, but we really appreciate that because we rely on that, y'all. I'm gonna get out here into the hog lot and see if I can wade through the mud, y'all, and found me a pair of boots I'm gonna try. These have not been the best. These are Rockies, and I don't mind telling you what they are. They started leaking about maybe a month after I got them, and the warranty process was like an act of Congress to get them exchanged. And so I said, heck with it, I'll just let them leak, and in about a year I'll get another pair. So found a pair at the local farm shop, Southern States. It looked good, no seams in them, anything like that. So we'll try that out, y'all, as soon as I'm able, but for now we'll just stick with these leaky boots. Fortunately, y'all, this is held up really well underneath this simple little shed roof. No rust at all, y'all. After I refurbed it last year, set it up on this platform, and I was going to build a new platform, but I'm going to do my best to just yank this one off and move it down here in the woods where I want it. Y'all, that actually came off a little easier than I thought it would. So, get this platform moved down further in the woods, take this little roof down. I'll meet you down here in just a few minutes. Oh, look at that bullfrog. Oh no, can y'all see that bullfrog? If we weren't in the hog lot, y'all, and I could catch about a half dozen of those, I'd be frying some frog legs, y'all, because they're pretty tasty too. All right, Kermit, back to it, buddy. Need to take you up there and see if Lisa wants to kiss you. Maybe she can get a prince. Huh? So I found me 2 young pines that are spaced almost perfect, y'all, for putting this thing back up. I know I have to do a little bit of work down at the bottom, but I'm gonna try to get this roof up first. That's gonna be my trickiest challenge down here with just myself, but I can get it done. About like putting up a deer stand. If any of y'all ever done that by yourself. How did I do this? There's more than one way to skin a cat, y'all. Throw this ratchet on here and pull these trees together, and I believe I can make this thing fit. Hopefully. Maybe. Alright, I gotta drop back and punt. I need some boards. Fortunately, y'all, I keep scrap boards laying around at different places just for something like this. You don't ever know what you're going to need, so I keep stuff laying in different places where I think I might need it. And lo and behold, I needed it. Man, and I reached it. Alright, that's going to work. And it's up a little higher than it was over yonder. So I ain't going to be worried about hitting my eyeballs on that metal or having to put anything on it to protect my noggin. And it'll still shed the water. I'm going to try to show y'all something funny real quick. I look up here, Dixie has closed the milk bar, laying on her belly, and Rosie, on the other hand, is trying to nurse these piglets. Well, she's got the milk bar closed now too, y'all, but if you can see over here, there's one little pig still latched on to her. It's wild, y'all. Rosie, before Dixie even farrowed, was out here building a nest for herself. And now that these pigs are out here, she's treating them like they're their own babies. So it's good to have 2 protectors out here in the woods with them, even if they can't get any milk. All right, that's gonna work pretty good right here, y'all. And if you're new to the channel, this feeder's from Hog Slat. It's pretty heavy duty. All the hardware stainless on it, good heavy bolts, unlike some that are riveted. We've had this one now for 4 or 5 years. And I've refurbed it once. That's because I never had a roof over it. It rusted up, so wire brushed it, painted it, and it looks pretty good. I'll bring in here and kind of show you the inside of it. So the way that these feeders work is you've got a gate down here at the bottom. Kind of hard to see because there's a bunch of crud on it. I beat most of it off, but you can raise and lower this gate for feed rate. And the way that seems to work best is to keep it as low as possible to make those hogs kind of root in there and work for that feed. That way we don't just end up with a bunch of waste down in the bottom you have to keep cleaning out. So the feeder, I think, is going to work pretty good in this location. We're way on down here in the woods. We'll have to walk in, but that's the idea, y'all, to walk in and feed these pigs as they're growing out. And y'all, we'll use this feeder until they get to around 100 pounds or so, and then we'll start bucket feeding again just so we can control our ration a little better. But they'll be able to free feed up until 100 pounds as they're putting that initial weight on and muscle. We want to make sure they have access to all the feed that they need. Lisa just texted me as I'm finishing up with the feeder and said that she was taking beans in the house, and a 5-foot long black snake met her stretched out in the sun at the side door there and scared the malarkey out of her. So she said it scared him too. He took off. But got this finished up. I'll tie it up to the tree. This thing will work good, y'all. And as long as you maintain these feeders by scraping down the rust, keeping a fresh coat of paint on the inside of them when you need it, keeping a little roof over them to keep the elements out, and keeping that feed dry, y'all, because you don't want your hogs eating wet feed, moldy feed. It's not good for them. But the little roof over it, that just helps with the longevity. I don't see any reason we shouldn't be able to get another 3 or 4 years out of this feeder before we have to purchase another one. And this feeder here, they'll tell you it's designed for, I think, up to like 8 hogs, but honestly, about 3 hogs on it, 3 to 4, works out pretty good. That way they're not fighting over it quite so bad. Y'all, we're going to have what I like to call trash can chicken this evening. In this old barrel, y'all, this is what we use to cook down coals whenever we're barbecuing a pig. And it's just got rebar thrown into it and an opening on the front. We usually set it up on some blocks, get our wood burning, and get the coals shaken down to the bottom. That way we can shovel coals underneath the pig as it's cooking. But we're going to use it for trash can chicken this evening. I might have added something a little flammable just to get that going a little better. I'll throw some wood on it now. We'll start working down some coals, y'all. Y'all, it doesn't get much more American than meat and potatoes. I've got Yukon Golds that we grew here in the raised beds. Seasoned with some Parmesan cheese, plenty of garlic and onion, salt and pepper, and some cayenne. They're going to go on in this big old Lodge skillet, carbon steel skillet, because it's going to take them a little bit of time to cook. Should be nice and crispy and golden. And oh, there's hog lard in there, y'all. That's the fat I'm using too, off of last year's hogs. It's a homestead meal. Y'all, I got some jalapenos on here. I'm gonna roast those. But this is the speckled Sussex breast quarters. A breast with a wing attached. And I have injected it with Tony Sachet's garlic and butter marinade. It's been marinating for about 6 hours. Ideally, 24 hours on this bird, y'all. It's a heritage breed bird, grown for 6 weeks. And it's a good size bird, really white flesh. It looks great, so what's going on? Hot. It's not a bad looking meal, y'all, if I do say so myself, for a little trash can cookery. Guys, that's going to wrap it up for us today here at the Pinewy Woods Homestead. Hit that like and subscribe as always. And if you have, y'all, we appreciate you. Lord willing, and the creek don't get any higher, we'll see you on the next one, guys.